Today we're going to give you some SEGDesign frame installation tips. If you're installing a small frame, you can install it pretty much like a picture frame. But when you get into larger frames that are say 4 foot by 8 or larger that require the assembly of multiple frame pieces, we'll give you some tips today on how to do that most efficiently. So here you have the print has been removed, and so now you can see the frame. And before we get started, I want to just point out to you that this frame is a 4 foot by 8 foot frame, and we've constructed it with two different forms that we have. On the right side is the original corner that we have, the molded corner, which allows you to cut square sides. And on the left side of the frame, we've used the internal corner, which allows you to cut a mitered corner. Now we're going to focus mainly on the mitered corner, and we're going to show you how to build a frame like this. But I want to point out a few key parts. First of all, you'll see these cleats. These cleats are used to secure the frame to the wall. We also have here shown a T-connector. Now the T-connector is in the middle of a side to extend it for any length that you want. You can connect an indefinite number of pieces, but it also has a way that you can do a cross brace. So if you want to put a cross brace, you use the same kind of rail that you do for the other. And then last but not least, we've got also in this corner, we'll have an internal corner connector, and along this rail, we've used what we call a straight connector. And so we'll show you how those are all used. But for now, we're going to point out that with a large sign frame like this, you are basically going to want to build it from the top down. And the reason for that is because these cleats at the top will support the top rail and even the side rails as you build your way down. And then last of all, you're going to put in the bottom rails and the bottom cleats. So let's get started. The first step in installing your SEGDesign frame is to install the cleats. So you start with installing at least two, or you can install the entire top rail. To know how to locate those, you'll notice that the center hole of the cleat is just about 2 inches below the top of the sign. So get those installed. Next, assemble your top rail and set that in the cleats, tighten those screws down, and you can put a screw through the T-connector center hole. Also, don't forget to account for the width of the T-connector when you're cutting your rails, but don't worry about that now because we're going to give you the full dimensions of this sign at the end of the video. Now we're going to start building our way down, and I'm going to start with the center support. This is one continuous 4 foot piece. We have lengths as long as 9 feet, so you can do that, and I'll just install that into the T-connector. And now I'll come over and start on the left side of the sign. I've already pre-assembled this as 2 pieces so that you can see how the straight connector works, which is what we recommend for the sides of the signs. And now I just install the corner, and I'm going to put the corner in at the top over here. Now I'll start building the bottom of the sign, and I'll start with my T-connector. And go to the corner. Now's a good time to check that you're level. That looks good. And plumb. If you need to apply some tape, feel free to do that because you haven't installed all of the cleats yet. Next, I'm going to install a screw through the center of the T-connector and install a cleat. The nice thing about the cleats, they can be applied anywhere, and you'll want to locate them on a stud if it's possible. If you run out of cleats, or you simply want to provide more anchoring points, you can screw directly through the frame into the wall or stud. We recommend installing our clear pull tabs to help you easily remove your fabric from the frame once the print has been installed. With KederTape Light adhered to all 4 sides of the fabric, begin by tucking the fabric into the rail channels of the frame. We recommend working from top to bottom. You can see I'm spending extra time on the last corner, which is where you'll put your finishing touches. It's helpful to have a pocket knife or a nail file to help you tuck the corner in neatly. Visit bannerups.com/SEGDesign for more information or to place your order.